Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to watch this clip of Mosab Hassan Yousef revealing the truth about Islam in 7 minutes. Check it out.
Islam is not a religion of peace. Bottom line. And this is not according to one sect. This is according to the Quran itself. And all the Islamic sects, denominations, follow a major book, and that's Quran. And Quran in itself is not peaceful. The God of the Quran, Allah, is not peaceful. He's a very violent God. He's not tolerant. He hates the Jewish people. He hates the non-Muslims. And he gives the authority to the Muslims to punish the non-Muslims if they don't obey Allah, to function as the sword of Allah on earth. And this by itself is blasphemic, is wrong, is against the way of life, is against the way of evolution, it's against religion, it's against morality, it's against diversity. And those who claim that Islam is a religion of peace, they are liars. They are all paid actors. They are all compromised by the sheikh oil money. And they don't want to piss off Islamic political regimes and Islamic money and Muslim investors. And most importantly, they want to avoid the Muslim rage. So they just keep dragging humanity into the trap that Islam is a religion of peace, while it's not. So as someone who know the Quran very well, so the people cannot be mistaken, say, okay, this is your Islam, or this is your sect, or this is your denomination. I tell them, rest, take a seat, and listen. The Quran itself has a problem. Allah himself has a problem. And if we want to deal with Islamic violence, then we need to deal with the root cause of this problem, and it resides in the Quran itself.
What about the millions of Muslims across the world?
The host is like speechless. He's like, oh, what is he saying?
Who do not engage in jihad and who are peaceful?
Then they are not Muslims. Then they're just nominal Muslims. They have been given the identity of a Muslim because they were born in that environment, and they don't have any other identity. They are just weak individuals, and they don't practice Islam.
So very interestingly, he says that the people that are actually practicing Islam to the word, meaning are actually following the Quran, are extremists. Everybody else are not real Muslims, meaning in the sense that they're not practicing Muslims to the letter of the law.
According to Allah, they are going to hell. But for some reason, they just keep clinging and hanging on this identity. Muslims. It's pathetic. It's disgusting. And they don't earn my respect to identify with something they don't understand, or to identify with a Nazi ideology and pretend to be peaceful. So Islam is not ethnicity. It's not even a religion. It's a totalitarian system. And this system does not see anyone outside of it, does not recognize anyone out of it. It's a mental illness, in other words. And the Muslims, whether they know what Islam is or they don't know what Islam is, as long as they identify with this sick ideology, I consider them psychopaths. I consider them sick people, and they must seek help.
Yeah, there are you I think you called them nominal Muslims. I mean, you made a term for the millions of Muslims who are peaceful, and I just want to point out, they're not actors, right? Like there are millions of Muslims in this world who are peaceful. You can call them nominal if you want, but I just think it's worth noting, right? Isn't that an important fact? I think. Do you agree?
No, I disagree.
Oh.
I disagree because in Islam, and you know that I rejected Islam totally many years ago. The Islamic law, okay, the Islamic law says, and this is according to Muhammad in a Sahih Hadith. If someone change his religion, Islam in this case, give him 3 days. If he does not return to Islam, kill him. So this is according to Muhammad now, the founder of Islam, and according to the most trusted Islamic sources. So now there is a death sentence to me against me by this totalitarian system. Now, when someone identify with Islam and come and say, I'm a Muslim, now, how am I to actually feel about him? If there is a death sentence against me and against, by the way, many ex-Muslims that we are supposed to be beheaded for just rejecting our belief system and its delusion.
Right.
So now for you, you can sit, you and the rest of the world, you can sit and reject my concern because you are not in the fire. There is no death penalty hanging over your head. There is no price over your head. You are sitting in comfort. We are fighting for our lives. Me and thousands of those who rejected the Islamic ideology. And there are perpetrators out there who want us dead. Now, when some Mustafa, because he was born that way, come and create a false sense that Islam is a religion of peace, they are already complicit in this crime. They are already taking the side of the enemy. They are already given cover to those who want to harm me and harm the rest of civilians and the rest of non-Muslims across the world. This is why I stand firmly and say, what makes you a Muslim? Are you a practicing Muslim? Then you are a jihadist. Or at least you justify the jihad. If this is what you do, this means that you are my enemy. It's as simple as that. Now you tell me they are peaceful, not peaceful. How do I know?
Wow, powerful and strong rhetoric there from Mosab Hassan Yousef. And I think Sam Harris broke it down perfectly. You have the jihadists, these are people that are willing to basically go ahead and die for Islam and do all the terrorist acts, etc. The full-on extremists, right? Then you have, beyond that, you have the Islamists. So a step below that, you have people that, they really do believe in full-on extremism. They do believe in all these, crazy ideologies of, blowing yourself up, but they're willing to work within the system. So they want to bring the system down, from itself, basically, work with democracies like an AOC, like a Rashida Tlaib, etc. Right. And then beyond that, at the final stage, or maybe just, I don't even know if AOC is Muslim, but you have for sure Ilhan Omar. And then beyond that, you have, the conservatives. So the conservative Muslims are the Muslims that are, again, they do believe in Sharia. They do believe in the spreading of Islam. They don't believe in any Western democracy, and they're very against that. But maybe they're not so forthright in their, obvious trying to destroy the West from the inside. And those three things are real dangers. And unless we wake up and start, understanding the threat, like Mossab does, like Sam Harris does, like a lot of these, very clear moral voices from both sides, from the left and the right, are speaking up, then we will have a very big problem, and it will be too late. And in case you doubt that Islam, has this element to it, this is a video in America of an Islamist preacher that I wanted to just show you to the level of extent that these people believe that their religion is supposed to be dominant over the world.
All really paying attention to what Trump and Muskie is doing? I call him Muskie. Are you really paying attention? Do you not think that that is a possibility, that that could happen? What's happening in other countries will not happen here? America has already shown you its history. Until Palestine is free from the Yahud, never will you be free. And each and every one of us, even including myself, will have to answer for it. Until the Muslims, the indigenous Muslims of this country, the Ansar of this country, is free from the apartheid of this political system, none of the Muslims will feel freedom. Islam has to be spread in this country. We are all da'is. We have to spread Islam.
So you get an idea of what he's trying to say. He is a total Islamist extremist in America. This is not in, the UK. This is not in an Islamist country in the Middle East. This is in America, talking about how he wants to take America down. And they want to destroy it from the inside. And this is an Islamist preacher that should be deported. This stuff is happening every day. For more, subscribe to the channel. If you want to help us make more of these videos, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JewishUncensored. Thank you, and have a good one.